Hello, it's me. I'm making my next video in Knoxville, Tennessee. It's not easy to overcome sloth and stop procrastinating. Hello. Hey, it's me, Kristen Von Cleff. I wasn't going to say I was in Knoxville, but if you look me up on Google, I am the whole first page, and if you look at images, it's me too. So there's not much of hiding who I am and where I am. First off, thank you guys for your feedback. I got some texts, I got some phone calls, comments, reactions, everything, emails. I really appreciate the feedback. One of the things I implemented was moving the camera. So the camera was over there, so the background probably looks a little different. And you're also not getting all the screens in my eyes because people want to see my eyes. So here I am. So today I am going to be talking about the single state, which I know a lot of people out there are stuck in, and they're frustrated and it's hard. And so I'm going to try to make this quick. I'm going to try to do it quicker than a half hour. I'm just going to talk about really, for me, what I've been able to do really this past year, really focusing on, maybe last year as well, focusing on the opportunities that God has given me to be an instrument of His healing, inner healing for people. And what I've realized a lot is there's a lot of stuff that I have been able to do, a lot of like ministering to people that there is no way on earth I could do if I was married and had children, or even religious life. I met this lady. She came up to me after church and was talking to me, and then I ended up talking to her for 3 hours, and she really opened up to me about some hard issues in her life, and I walked her through this healing exercise, and actually another type of inner healing. I walked her through forgiveness, and she forgave 2 men in her life who had been verbally abusive, or in other ways abusive, and that's one. I walked a friend of mine through a forgiveness exercise. She forgave the guy who raped her, and forgave her stepfather who physically abused her mother. This other woman forgave the person who murdered her child. Just the list keeps compiling, and really just me being able to kind of sit in that and be like, wow, okay, right now I have this opportunity to be doing these things, and I wouldn't have been able to do it in any of these other vocations. So right now I'm in my single vocation, my single state, and I'm embracing it. And I really believe that is what we're all called to do, is to embrace where we're at. And then also I can speak to living in the present moment. And I may have talked about these two things in a video I did with my friend John, which, yes, is still in the back burner. But I could say now, embracing the single state, like I said, it's been beautiful, all these things that God has allowed me to do, because I'm single, and I could be on the phone for 2 hours with someone as they go through the details of like horrific trauma they've been through, and just getting those words out, brought so much healing. That was what the video initially was. That first one I did with my friend. And but no, and then the other thing is being in the present moment. And I was listening to somebody, I think on the radio, talking about it, or maybe EWTN, I don't know what, but talking about being in the present moment. And for me, my whole life, and they were kind of talking about this as well, as it's, right now, what's the present moment? Well, I live in Knoxville, I'm single, I'm helping with my nephew, I've started my business, I'm living with my brother. Like, that's the present moment. It's this kind of, I would say, broad idea of what is present. Whereas I started to get myself out of like worrying about 3 months in the future, trying to be in this present moment. It's so broad that I couldn't, that wasn't good enough for me to be content with this broad present moment. And I I finally got to the point where I was like, you know what the present moment is right now? Because 3 months from now, which was at the beginning of the year, so 3 months I was going to be doing X, Y, and Z. So I was kind of living in the future. And the present moment was, this broad idea. And I have all these ideas of what God's calling me to, which he is calling me to a lot of different things. I know he is. But trying to live in the present moment. And what I had to finally do was just be very physical about it. Right now, the present moment is me here at my desk talking to you in the camera. I can't do anything else right now. I can't be out there saving babies. I can't be out there in this moment talking to someone. And, well, I'm talking to you, but talking to someone and leading them through inner healing. I can't be, different state. I can't be visiting. I can't be doing all these other things. The only thing I can do is, because right now I can't bilocate, is just be here, sitting in this chair, sitting on this desk, talking into this microphone, looking at you in the camera and recording this video. And so for me, that has become a very, very helpful thing for me to not get distracted by, I wish I could be doing this. I should be doing this. I should be doing that. And it's like, no, physically, the way God's made our bodies, we can only be in one spot at one time, unless we are saints that can bilocate. Martin of Porres, who is South America, he did some serious bilocation, Padre Pio. But anyways, yeah, so it's a pretty short video. Just the biggest things right now, two of the biggest things really for me is embracing my single state and living in the present moment, and just getting that idea out of just this broad of, this is how my life is right now, and that's how I have to live it, to more like very literal, right now, what am I doing in this moment, and to take advantage of it. If you're in a conversation with someone, take advantage of it. If you're praying, take advantage of it. Or, anything you're doing to get out of, what that helped me to get out of the worries of the future is that I can only impact this moment. I can only impact, right now in these seconds, all I can impact is recording this video. I can't do anything else. And for me, literally these past 3 years, I've been worrying about the future so much. I've been living in the future so much, to the point where I was like, you know what? I can't do that anymore. I can't live in the future. Seriously, for 3 years, I was living in the future. I was not present in East Tennessee. I was living in the future. And so this has really helped. And another thing on the single state, I was talking to my Franciscan Papa, as I'll call him. Call out to you, a shout out to you, Franciscan Papa David from Nashville. So I am a secular Franciscan. That's the first video said that. And I lived in Nashville for about a year, and a little over a year. And this Franciscan Papa David was in my fraternity there. Sounds exactly like my grandfather, who I dearly love. Kind of mentioned that in my first video. And but no, I was talking to him about, me thinking about embracing the single state and being in the present moment. I was on the phone with him, and he is almost 80, and he said that, I think in his parents' generation maybe, that it was actually normal for people to actually live out their life in the single state. It was a normal thing. People would have that as a vocation. They wouldn't be married. I know I have people who are watching this that aren't Catholic, so non-Catholics don't really discern religious life very often, unless they're looking at becoming Catholic. But he pointed out that the reason he thinks, and I agreed, is that we gotta have sex, and it's but as Christians, we believe there's no sex before marriage or no sex out of marriage, and the only vocation, if you're not going to become a priest or a religious sister or whatnot, brother, is marriage. And so, since we are in a culture, a very pornified culture, if you will, where sex is, everybody's got to have it, the only option is marriage. And so to embrace celibacy in any way is very much looked down upon. But he said no. He was like, I'm pretty sure it was his parents' generation where he said it was completely normal to have, single aunts, and they would have this spiritual role really in the family, and it was just a normal thing. But anyways, yeah, I mean, it's been a beautiful thing for me, so the two things really play into each other for me, this especially this past year, and really for me having in January was really this turning point. It wasn't January 1st. This was not a resolution or anything. It was at the end of January. But yeah, no, it was a very beautiful, and it's been very impactful this entire year. Being able to embrace a single state, which in other words is saying I'm content with this state. And in the past, I would be, shamelessly ring checking in church. If you're a single girl, you probably know what that means. It's checking the ring finger on a guy's hand. It's a thing that happens. Just always like looking for a dude, and hopefully finding, but really taking a step back, seeing what God can use me to do, where I'm at in this season, as us Christian women like to say, and living in the present moment. Because like right now, even if I wanted to date someone, I can't meet anybody right now. I'm literally recording a video. It's impossible. I mean, somebody could walk through the door, I guess, or come to the condo. But anyways, so yeah, embrace the state of life you're in and live in the present moment. It's awesome. It is. It's awesome. It's been very, very life-changing, honestly, this past year. It's caused a lot of peace and a lot of anxieties revolving around those two things to go away. So that was 12 minutes. That's pretty good. Pretty good video. And I got a little bit extra time. I was going to do 15, so I can guide you around this room a little if you want. So right here, this image, if you know me, I am a physical touch person. People who know me and have received my Kristen hugs, there's actually a title for them, they know. And so this image, there was a kid's painting. This was in the kids section at the Catholic bookstore locally, and I got it when I was like a teenager, maybe even in my 20s. And I love it. I love that Jesus is just embracing this child, and he's just, Jesus is just like this, and the child is just like, holding Jesus's face. I love it. And you can't see this thing very well. But then right here, this is, shout out, this is my first adopted into, not really adopted, but can you see that? It's like not focusing. Lenore. She's amazing. One of the, I'd say, top 3 influences in my life: my mother, father, and Lenore. Confirmation sponsor. I was a maid of honor, and I love that picture. It's old. And then this, you can see this. So this was the holy card from my grandmother's funeral. And then this, you kind of can see there, is from her husband, my maternal grandfather's funeral. And then actually, you can kind of see this, so I can pull it out and show it to you. So my grandfather was a catcher. Softball was my game, so I actually laminated this very haphazardly. I have no idea what I used to laminate it because it looks horrible, but I would put it in my back pocket when I played softball, so he was with me. And then what else can you see? Oh, this, got a minute left. Okay, so I just recently started singing. I did not sing a long time ago, but I recently got back into guitar and then added singing on top of it. And this, I have a illness where I take medication and I have to get my blood drawn once a month. And so I took my guitar. If I'm going anywhere with it, it always comes with me inside of anywhere I go while I have it in the car, because heat, AC, cold air, humidity, whatever, can destroy the wood. So I brought it into church, and not church. I do bring it into church, but I brought it into the hospital, and this couple asked me to, if I would play a song. So I played them a song, and after it was over, this is my hospital bracelet, but after it was over, the older lady, this older couple was precious. She was like, "Can we give you a donation?" I was like, "Are you sure?" And she was like, "Yeah, we don't have that much money, but we would really like to give you something." So this is the first money I've ever made off singing and playing guitar. So I framed it. I thought it was very precious. Okay, we're over 15 minutes, so maybe we'll go over this bookshelf another time. That's a tree that is fake. By the way, I'm not good at keeping things alive, but I can point out this right here is a painting I did of, if you're Catholic, you probably know. If not, this is a Sacred Heart of Jesus. So it's got his little Sacred Heart, and I am going to go into detail about him because I'm madly in love with the Sacred Heart. Yes. And then, well, Jesus. And then Our Lady has the Immaculate Heart, and what that is a heart with flowers and then a sword through it, because of what Simeon said when they presented Jesus in the temple, that the sword would pierce her heart. But yeah, so 16 minutes. I went over a minute, and anybody who knows me knows I can talk a lot, so probably will happen again in the future. Anyways, all right, that's it. That's me. Second video.
Okay, one more thing. If you like my videos, please like them. Hit that like button. If you like the content, please subscribe. If you want this content to be put in front of other people, please share it. And sharing it isn't just going to put it in front of those people. You share it with commenting. Any way you interact with my videos, YouTube recognizes it as a legit channel, and they will put it in front of people in search results and recommend the video in the future. So yeah, any way you interact, like, subscribe, comment, share. You can share via social media. When you hit the share button, you can copy that link, text, email it. Every time you do something, YouTube will know people like this stuff. And if you do like it, please, please, please interact with it. All right. As always, Jesus loves you, and I love you too. Have a good one.